Earlier this month, I took a trip to San Francisco, and prior to this, I had only ever gone to San Francisco for like day trips. So from where I live, it takes like an hour and a half to get there. And then by the time you get there, you try to do as much as you can in that day, and then before you know it, you gotta head back home. So it's really hard to do anything in a single day trip. So this was my first time ever spending several days in San Francisco. So this was pretty cool and something I've always wanted to do. I booked a trip at the Argonaut Hotel, which is a really cool nautical themed hotel. My room was a little bit small, but it was really nice. I booked the hotel through Capital One Venture X, so I was able to get a $50 credit towards my stay at the hotel, and I ended up using it at the restaurant. I believe it's the Blue Mermaid restaurant. I only tried one thing at the restaurant, but it was the Wagyu beef burger, and I highly recommend it. It was like the best burger I've ever had. I got it medium, and the pickles that came with it were like, they tasted like they were homemade pickles. They were super delicious, thick cut and extra crunchy. Great burger. Definitely try that out if you go there. I brought 2 cameras with me on this trip. I brought the Fuji Class W. I wanted to bring that one because it's more of a travel compact point and shoot camera, so I felt like it was more suited for a trip like this, but I also brought my regular Nikon SLR camera. I also challenged myself to shoot only color film this time. I've been really wanting to try the Aurora 800 color film, so I shot a roll of that, and I pretty much just shot that and Portra 800. I also shot a roll of Kodak Gold, but the one I was most excited for was Aurora 800, and I ended up really liking the results from that film. All of these shots are on the Aurora 800, and I really like the colors on it, and I felt like it's a film that you can use in the daylight. Like these I shot on the Fuji Class W, I just stopped down the lens, and it also performs really well in low light, so I feel like it is an accurate 800 speed film, and it does come out cheaper than Portra 800, so that's like a win-win. This shot was inside the Ferry Building at a little cafe, and they had a sign that said the best croissants in San Francisco, and I'd never had an actual like real croissant besides the one from like a generic grocery store. So I really wanted to try one, but they were sold out. One of the times that I was in the elevator at the hotel, there was a family and they were all eating these ice cream sundaes from Ghirardelli, and I had asked them, are those pretty good? And they're like, oh yeah, these are great. And I said, do you think you'd ever eat it more than once? And they were like, yeah, we've actually gone back multiple times. The Ghirardelli place was like maybe a 10-minute walk or less from the hotel. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go over there and check it out. I ended up getting the, I think it was a strawberry hot fudge sundae. So good. Definitely recommend it. If you go there, get that. You won't regret it. Across from the Ghirardelli building, there's this little beach, and this was the view right there. So I stopped by, took a few pictures. The Argonaut Hotel is in the Fisherman's Wharf area, so I pretty much mostly hung out around there. And there's this really cool place over there called, and it's in French, so pardon me, but Musée Mécanique, Museum of Mechanics, or Museum of Machines, I'm not positive, but I highly recommend it. It's this little arcade. It's free to enter, and everything runs on quarters. It's full of all these little vintage machines from like the 20s and 30s. There's these like piano machines, there's these little motion picture moviola machines. I did also manage to squeeze in a little ferry ride to Alcatraz Island, and there's a lot of history there, so I recommend getting the audio tour. There's also some tour guides there, but the audio tour, you get these little headsets and it'll be like this guided audio tour. I recommend that. There's a lot of rich history there and it's pretty interesting. These photos I shot on the Kodak Gold. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Negative.